Today's topic is WebSocket. Today we will understand what is WebSocket, how it's work and how to use it, and we will also create a simple chat application. Let's jump to the topic. First, understanding the WebSocket, we first have to understand what is client and what is server. In a web page, what we see that all is a client. If we go to a normal any website, like we go to Facebook, here what is showing in my screen, it's called client side. At many logics and authentication, authorization, and many program that related to database is called server or backend. So here, how the client side get the data? The client side get all the data from server. Here is a basic structure of a website. This is a client side and this is a server side, means backend. Here our client website send a request to the server and server give a response on that request and the client side show the data. It is commonly used in simplex communication, mean a static website that only show the data that related to the website or organization. But what happen if there is multiple client, mean multiple users in the website, and at a time many users are sending request to the server and server have to give the response of that request. So at that case, we need a duplex communication system so that client don't need to give the request and server don't need to reply on the response. It's called pooling. So in this normal system, client is always sending a request and server is sending back its response. It is called polling. But in some large application like a leaderboard, here in every minute or second, we when we come to the leaderboard, we saw that the position of the users are changing according to their ranks or medals or something. How it happens? Does the users send the request to the server at every second or minute? It can be done in two ways, that we set a time interval that every set time interval we can take 1 minute, that after every 1 minute the client side will send a request to the server and server will give a response on that request. uh, by this the client side can update the data and this leaderboard will update and the user's positions will show. But it is not a good idea. What happen if we think about a chat application, that one user is sending a chat a message to the another user? So uh, the another user should display the message when the others user, when he messages him, the message should display automatically in his browser. But if it need to send request on the server, then it is not a good way and our user experience will be bad. So for this, the system WebSocket take place here. In this WebSocket, there is a open connection between client and server. We can see that in client and server, there is a connection. This is a duplex connection, where in a connection between server and client is always in open connection. So client don't need to give request to the server, and server don't need to send response in every request. The data will automatically updated. But in this normal pooling method, every second the client send request to server, and then server send to the request to the client. By this, a lots of requests will show in the server. So as a result, our server will be loaded, and our user experience will very bad, and sometimes it could be happen that our server could be crash. We will also understand from this figure that in our normal HTTP connection, the client side send a request to server, and server give a request. It is a simplex connection that client sent, and according to the request, server responds. But for messaging application or dynamic applications like leaderboard, stock market, etc., we need a duplex communication system where the WebSocket comes. The client side sends a request to the server, and server then connect a WebSocket. WebSocket automatically connect a line by client to server. As a result, there no need to any request or response. Okay, so now we will create a normal chat application using WebSocket and Node.Js. If we go to WebSocket uh, package socket.io, we can see here that there is some documentation that is very easy, but we will start with a very basic example which will user friendly. In this project we will only focus on the method that how the WebSocket work with Node.js, and user can send message, and another user will get message, and message can be sent from two way. In today's topic video, we will not focusing on the UI of this website. Okay, now we are opening a folder, creating a folder, and this is our PS code. It is a blank folder. Now we will first check the documentation, what we have to do for start. Okay, so here we can see that they are using Xpace as server. So we know that Xpace is a framework of Node. Okay, first then we we create our server, that we can open our terminal. But for this project you must have install Node.js in your computer. If you don't have, you can simply go to Node.js and install this on your local machine. I have already installed in my computer, so I'm not installing it. So for install, set up our backend, first we have to type npm init, and we don't need to take so much commands, because we are just testing today. We just enter the press the enter button, and our backend will be created. Okay, here is the package.json file is created. Now we have to install express.js, and so the code for installation, code for express.js is npmi express.js. So and the express.js is installed, and now we have to make a folder name index.js, and also a folder for our client side where we will show the message for by index.html file. Okay, so we create a basic structure of index.html where we named it socket chat. Okay, so first now uh, we have to require some variables here for our package here. First we have to declare app equal to express to first declare the http. This http we will send to the socket. Then we have to the express to require express. Okay, now our server will send 900. Now our basic structure is, then we are uh, sending our server response start at port 900. We send the response. If we check it, I think something server is not defined. Oh, here is a problem here that we haven't declared our server. Constant server equal to http create. We have created a server where our express app is sent to this server. Now we can check it again and create the node index.js. Okay, our server has started, but for check it on the browser, we will create a app.use app.get response. We will get a request and also a response. Response will server is started. Okay, let's check it. Node index.js. So we have start our server at localhost 900. Let's check this. Okay, 900. listen to server listen. Okay. Okay. Here we can see that our server has started, and that showed in the terminal. Okay. Now we will show this index.html file on the browser, and we'll connect this HTML file with the Node server. We name it socket chatting. Okay, and now we will connect this for this on this app.get. We will add that get return. It will return then response dot as it is a file, so we'll send here response dot file. Here our folder is public and it is index.html. Okay, uh, we also have to declare a path for it. Then constant path equal to require th path. Okay, we also have to give that app.use directory. That is first we have to declare the express and then static, and that our path will resolve in dot public. Okay, dot public, and now not index dot now it should uh, now we can see that our index.js is mean our client is connected with our backend. So now we will install our socket.io. That is our main perspective on this video. npmi socket.io. Okay, we have installed socket.io. It is installing. It is installing here. Okay, so for socket.io we have something to declare. I think the server, or the server, it should server should have here the command for install socket.io. Now if we as we have installed it, then you can check here when you are installing it, and now you can see there we can see that here is a declaration for the server for socket.io. Okay, declaring it socket.io. Okay, I see. Now our server is declared, and now we'll create a new server for socket.io. Okay, constant server equal to new. Okay, not server, not we can name it according to its use. IO, input or output, server, server, and inside it we will pass our old server. Okay, we have passed it, and now we will send it, connect it with it, and but before it we will make a basic functionality that will happen when it is connect. It is socket as well. Socket. Okay, what happen is socket, so it will if socket would connect, it will show in the now we have to connect it in front end. Okay, here is the code for connect socket in front end. We refresh it, it should come in the, sorry, we have forget to uh, run our backend server. Server is started. If we take a reload, it should show in the terminal. Here our socket is connected, it is showing on this terminal. Now we'll create a basic div for it. Will name the all message. Have the all message stored on message, then input message button send. Okay, id will send, it should showing in this here. Now we will write the function here. What if the socket will get any message? Okay, first socket dot on, if user message, then a message will take here as a props, then here the IO, it will send to this IO. So we can write io.emit. io.emit will that means if any user giving message to this socket, the message will imitate on the socket, means our server, socket server. We can relate it with JavaScript append. We will also use append on our front end. So io.emit here will message, and here will also message. Okay, so our backend is server is complete. Now let's connect it with our index file, not index.js. Okay, now let's connect it. Inside this we first have to get all these h1 class input and buttons. We can declare it with first our all message div, all message will document dot get element by id. the all message deep. Sorry, we have declared with class. Okay, with ID. The ID is all message. You can copy it from here and paste it on the ID. Okay. Uh, we, okay. Now we'll have to declare the message variable message. The we will get all message from this input tag. Okay. Go ahead the now the button. Okay. Constant button will our button ID is send. Okay. Now our all basic variables are declared. So now we the functionality will be that when user type on the input field and after clicking on the button we will get the message. For this we will create a function and we will have uh, send button. Constant is button. Okay, button dot add event listener. This is if it click event means the message, and the message will be MEWS message input will be here the message dot value. Okay, console dot log. First let's check that if we are getting our message or not. Okay, if we type something and click on send, I think what happened is our server is not working, or our button ID is sent. Some problem have occurred. Click constant dot value. Oh, we haven't passed the message input on this console. Now it should work. Okay, we are getting this message in console. Okay, now we'll uh, pass it on socket. Okay, if socket dot on, we get the message. Message what message we get, it will pass here, and we will create a paragraph tag document dot create element. Okay, and we will pass this paragraph tag on the all message deep. The p dot inner text will be the message that we get from this input tag. Okay, and all message I mean the deep. Okay, deep will append. Will the append child will be p. Okay, now it should work. Yes, and something some problem have occurred. We have our message should appear here, but let's check what happened. Index we haven't event listener. Oh, we haven't emitted here from this event listener. We have emitted on backend, and we also have to emit it from front end. Okay, we have emit the socket on here. We named it user message, and so we also have to name it from user message, then pass the message. Now it Now check it, send. Okay, our message is sending. Let's open the browser, open the our URL at another browser for test.